In the far reaches of the galaxy, two superpowers teeter on the edge of annihilation. The Dravari Empire, a proud, isolationist civilization with a long history of military dominance, stands opposed to the Coalition of Free Worlds, a loosely united federation of diverse alien species including humanity. For decades, Cold War tensions have flared into skirmishes, but full-scale war has always been narrowly avoided. Now, with resources dwindling and border conflicts rising, both sides agree to a desperate attempt at peace. A diplomatic summit on the neutral planet Kirillon. To demonstrate good faith, the Dravari Emperor agrees to send his daughter, Princess Valeira, a respected voice for reform within the Empire, as a symbolic envoy. The coalition agrees to receive her without an escort under a guarantee of safe passage. Her presence is meant to humanize the Dravari before the other races, showing that diplomacy is still possible. But as her sleek royal cruiser enters deep space en route to the summit, it vanishes. No distress signals are sent. No wreckage is found. Within hours, both sides begin trading accusations. The Dravari blame the coalition for an assassination attempt, while the coalition suggests the Empire staged the disappearance to sabotage the talks and justify a war. Armadas begin mobilizing. War seems inevitable. Amid the growing storm, far from the eyes of empires, we meet Jack Marlowe, a down-on-his-luck human salvager scraping out a living among the debris fields of forgotten battles. Once a decorated member of Earth's elite, Black Echo unit, Jack walked away from the military after a botched mission left his team dead and his name blackened. Now he wanders the galaxy alone, his only companion a sarcastic, half-malfunctioning AI named Bit. While scavenging near a derelict asteroid belt, Jack picks up a strange signal, faint, encrypted, and buried beneath layers of interference. Curious, he traces it to a stealth-class Dravari shuttle, partially buried in rock. Inside, he discovers corpses of royal guards and a badly damaged holotransmitter. With Bit's help, he decrypts a hidden message, a personal distress call from Princess Valeira, time-stamped after the supposed disappearance. She's alive, and being held on Garshek, a lawless world outside the reach of either empire. Garshek is a nightmare of a planet, an outlaw haven ruled by warlords, bounty hunters, and exiled war criminals. If Valeira is there, it's because someone wanted her to disappear permanently, without drawing official attention. Jack understands immediately. This isn't just a kidnapping, it's a setup, meant to ignite a galactic war. And he might be the only one in the galaxy who knows the truth. Haunted by his past failures and the lives he couldn't save, Jack is reluctant to act. He could sell the transmitter and make enough credits to vanish for years. But something about the princess's calm, defiant voice in the message stirs something in him. A soldier's instinct, a survivor's anger, and perhaps the flicker of a cause worth fighting for again. He makes his decision. He's going to Garshek. As the Dravari and Coalition fleets move to full alert, Jack loads up his salvaged freighter, retrofits his aging weapons systems, and begins charting a course into the most dangerous region of space. He knows that going alone into Garshek is suicide. But if Valeira truly is there and if he can bring her back, he might not only save a life, he might save the entire galaxy from war. And so, the exiled soldier sets off on a rescue mission that no one asked for, driven not by duty, but by the quiet hope of redemption. Jack Marlowe sets his course for Garshek, the most lawless planet in the outer reaches, a place where fugitives, mercenaries, and war criminals vanish into shadow. Once a prison colony abandoned after a solar event wiped out its original population, Garshek has since become a haven for the worst of the galaxy's criminal elements. No official government dares enter. It's ruled by warlords and syndicates, where might makes right and outsiders die quickly. Despite the danger, Jack knows this is where Princess Valeira is being held, according to her encrypted message. He doesn't expect to survive the mission, but if he can at least get the truth out, it might stop the brewing war. Knowing he can't do it alone, Jack reluctantly reaches out to some old contacts from his special ops days and past salvage runs. First, he recruits Carnix, a hulking insectoid ex-Gladian warrior, who once fought alongside him during the Battle of Kiros Ridge. Fierce and loyal, Carnix is in exile after defying orders to save civilians during a Dravari raid. He owes Jack his life and agrees to help, seeking redemption of his own. Next is Cora Vell, a Zarnian engineer and pacifist who specializes in stealth tech and hacking. Though she despises violence, Cora joins the mission when she learns the princess might be a reformist working to shift the Dravari Empire toward peace. She provides the brains and tech while Jack and Carnix bring the brawn. Finally, there's Bit, Jack's AI companion, whose sarcasm masks a deeply loyal core. Bit hacks into off-grid data networks to confirm that a prisoner fitting Valira's description was recently transferred to Warlord Drosk's fortress, a massive stronghold carved into the cliffs of Garshek's equatorial Badlands. Drosk is a former Coalition defector turned arms trafficker, ruthless, paranoid, and rich from selling weapons to both sides of the Galactic divide. The team devises a risky infiltration plan. Cora will disrupt Drosk's perimeter security by planting an override virus into the fortress's power grid. Jack and Carnix will enter through an old service duct, using stolen access codes Bit uncovers, and search for Valira in the lower prison levels. Timing and stealth are critical. If they're caught, Drosk will either kill them or sell them to the highest bidder. The infiltration begins under cover of a sandstorm. The fortress is crawling with mercenaries and drones, but Jack's experience as a covert operative proves invaluable. They bypass several lethal traps and reach the prison sector. There, in a reinforced cell guarded by elite soldiers, they find Valira alive, malnourished but composed, her spirit unbroken. But as they prepare to escape, things spiral. Drosk discovers the breach and activates full lockdown. Cora is captured while trying to disable the alarms, and Jack's team is ambushed. In the chaos, Jack uncovers something chilling. Drosk isn't acting alone. The kidnapping was orchestrated by the Narthari Dominion, a secretive third power known for manipulating smaller factions and playing enemies against each other to fuel their own expansion. Their plan was simple: frame the Coalition, provoke the Dravari into war, and sweep in when both sides are weakened. Realizing the stakes, Jack decides not only to escape with Valira, but to take Cora and a data core containing the Narthari's communications and planning documents. They fight their way through the fortress with brutal efficiency. Carnix is wounded during the final push, but they manage to commandeer a small transport and blast their way into orbit, with Drosk's forces in pursuit. As they escape Garshek's atmosphere, Jack stares out at the stars, knowing their journey is far from over. They have the princess. They have proof. But the galaxy is still poised for war, and both the Dravari and Coalition believe Valira is dead. Now the real mission begins. Get her to the summit and stop the bloodshed before it starts. With Princess Valira rescued from the clutches of Warlord Drosk and the hidden hands of the Narthari Dominion revealed, Jack Marlowe and his crew face a new urgent mission. Get Valira to the diplomatic summit on Kirellin before war ignites across the galaxy. But the challenge is far greater than a simple flight through space. The entire galaxy believes she is dead, and powerful forces are working to keep it that way. The Dravari Empire, furious over the assassination of their princess, prepares to launch a massive retaliatory strike against the Coalition. The Coalition, refusing to be intimidated, arms its fleets and mobilizes in kind. On the surface, neither side appears willing to listen to reason. But if Valira can appear at the summit, alive and with proof of the Narthari conspiracy, it could defuse the situation. Unfortunately, the Narthari know that too, and they will do anything to stop her from reaching that summit. Bit, Jack's AI, intercepts a chilling transmission, doctored footage showing Jack apparently assassinating Valira, distributed across key communication nodes. The Narthari have weaponized his reputation as a disgraced soldier and framed him as a Coalition agent sent to disrupt peace. Now, both factions have placed bounties on Jack's head, and every system they travel through is filled with hostile patrols, pirates, and bounty hunters. As they race through disputed territories, Jack and Valira begin to form an unlikely bond. Initially distrustful of each other, Valyra seeing Jack as reckless and brash and Jack viewing her as just another royal figurehead, they come to understand one another on a deeper level. Valyra proves her worth not just with courage but with a sharp political mind. She navigates delicate alien cultures during encounters on neutral worlds, brokered temporary ceasefires with desperate locals, and even talks down a Dravari captain from attacking them. Jack, meanwhile, starts to let go of his self-loathing, driven by a cause bigger than himself for the first time in years. Karnix, still recovering from wounds sustained on Garshek, remains a stalwart protector. Cora Vel, guilt-ridden for her temporary capture, uses her skills to decrypt more data from the Narthari core, uncovering plans for a false flag attack designed to ignite the war in earnest, scheduled to take place just hours before the summit. Now, the mission has doubled in scope. Stop the attack and reach the summit. As they near Kirillon, the team is betrayed. A supposed neutral repair station allows them to dock for emergency maintenance, only to trap them in a gravity net and alert nearby bounty hunters. In the ensuing chaos, their ship is badly damaged, and they are forced to crash land on Kirillon's surface, miles from the summit site in hostile terrain, with communications jammed. Worse, Valyra is injured in the crash. Not fatally, but badly enough that she can't run. Jack knows the clock is ticking. The Narthari attack is imminent and the summit will begin without her. If she doesn't appear soon, the Dravari fleet will take her death as a final insult and unleash their wrath. Jack and Karnix carry Valyra through dense alien forests and over harsh ridges, evading assassination drones and ground-based hunters sent by the Narthari. Along the way, Cora transmits fragmented proof of the conspiracy through local channels, hoping someone will believe them in time. By the end of this part, the team reaches the summit's outer perimeter, exhausted, wounded, and nearly out of time. Soldiers prepare for war. Fleet weapons charge in orbit. The Narthari's false flag attack is about to unfold, and the fate of the galaxy rests on whether a single human and an injured alien princess can break through and be heard. The final act begins with Jack Marlowe and his battered team reaching the outer perimeter of the Kirillon summit, the most critical diplomatic meeting in a generation. Above them, both the Dravari Empire and the Coalition of Free Worlds have fleets in high orbit, weapons armed and poised to strike at the first provocation. On the ground, delegates prepare for a final, doomed negotiation, each side convinced the other is responsible for Princess Valyra's death. Unknown to them all, the Narthari Dominion prepares to execute the final phase of their masterstroke, a false flag attack using stealth drones rigged with Dravari and Coalition signatures. The plan is simple. Ignite the war while both sides are gathered in one place, guaranteeing chaos and giving the Narthari free rein to seize contested systems. Jack, wounded and running out of time, knows that just revealing Valyra's survival won't be enough. They must expose the Narthari plot publicly before the fleets start firing. The group's arrival at the summit is met with immediate suspicion. Coalition guards prepare to open fire until Valyra herself, bloodied and weak, stands before them. Her presence alone halts the confrontation. But there's no time for ceremony. Jack and Cora demand access to the summit's central communication core, intending to broadcast the decoded Narthari data core across all diplomatic and military channels. Inside, chaos reigns. The Dravari delegation believes Valyra is a clone, or a trick. The Coalition sees her presence as a potential assassination trap. Only a few recognize the truth, one being Admiral Threx, an old mentor of Jack's from his Black Echo days, now a high-ranking Coalition strategist. Despite their fraught past, Threx listens as Jack lays out the plan and presents the decrypted files. Just as the summit descends into a shouting match, the Narthari launch their false flag strike. Orbital defense systems register simultaneous Dravari and Coalition attacks. Alarms blare. Panic erupts. Fleet commanders on both sides prepare to retaliate. A single wrong move, a single nervous trigger pull, and the galaxy will descend into fire. Jack acts. He takes the only gamble left. He overrides the summit's emergency broadcast channel, forcing every screen, holo projector and fleet HUD in both factions to display Valyra's live message. Weak but resolute, Princess Valyra speaks directly to the galaxy. She explains the truth of her abduction, the Narthari manipulation, and the doctored assassination footage. She speaks not as royalty, but as someone who has suffered and seen the truth firsthand. Her words cut through propaganda, fear, and hate. Her voice, soft but unwavering, reaches admirals, soldiers, and citizens across dozens of star systems. Cora simultaneously uploads the decrypted Narthari communications, images, orders, encrypted protocols, all irrefutable proof of the conspiracy. The evidence spreads like wildfire. Above, the fleets hold their fire. Ships begin powering down weapons. Commanders on both sides, seeing the truth, issue ceasefire orders. The Narthari drones are detected and destroyed before they can ignite a war. The summit is saved. In the aftermath, a joint Dravari coalition task force begins dismantling Narthari infiltration networks. Valyra returns home as a symbol of peace and resilience, her influence within the Empire growing stronger. The peace talks resume, this time with genuine intent and mutual trust. Jack is offered full pardon and reinstatement, but he declines. He's not a soldier anymore. He's something else now. A bridge between enemies. A man who found redemption, not through orders but through choice. As for Valyra and Jack, there's something unspoken between them, a bond forged in fire stronger than politics or protocol. As the stars begin to heal from the brink of destruction, they part ways, for now, knowing they changed the course of history together. And somewhere, deep in space, Jack's ship drifts into the void once more. This time, not as a man running from his past, but as the one who helped save the future.